Hello, this is Victor at RestoringMercedes.com. This video is for Victor at RestoringMercedes.com because this is my car. Finally, I came up to my senses and decided to do the infamous breather pipe and intake seals. This engine has, this car overall, it has 30,000 miles. It's a 94 and it's for sale, but before I sell it, I wanted to do the breather pipe. So, and plus, you know, to document repairs for a future buyer. There are a bunch of videos about this car, what was done to it, but pretty much preventive maintenance for the most part. And right now, I'm just gonna show you the breather pipe, of course. So this is the tube that is infamous for breaking. We obviously see right there is a huge crack. Here you got stress cracks because this is all plastic. It was made in 1993, of course, because 94 model year car. Down in the back, no, but obviously this is to be replaced. You can see inside the valves how clean they are, because again, this is real low mileage, 30,000 mile engine, very clean. So all the valves are like that. Obviously surfaces will be cleaned off, you know, all of these, they will be cleaned off. And see, there's another shot of valves. You can see the valves like nice and clean. Yeah, can't even open this filler cap. Okay, so this is how the engine looks, extremely clean. So yeah, also what I'm doing here is I'm replacing flanges, because these are originals. They're not good because they squeeze, they get flat, you know, when they tightened up they get flat. So as you can see, these are pretty flat, so we don't want these. And of course the breather pipe, when they get flat, you can get air leak past the seals, and then you have erratic idle and uneven running. So this is what you obviously need to remove: all of this stuff over there, you know, throttle bodies, wiring harness, injectors, linkages, throttle linkages, some switchover valves, brake booster line, PCV system line. Where else? Fuel line. One of them is removed, the other one is still on the vehicle because it leaks. Well, it's, you know, residual fuel comes out, so I just looped it backwards like this, and we still have a little bit of fuel over there. I put a little cap, but it fell off. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. So these vacuum hoses I left alone because they go back there, so it's quite difficult to get to. The intake comes out without removal of power steering reservoir. There's only one angle that you can actually get it out. You should sort of like turn it. You lifting it on the driver's side, so it lifts up a little bit here, and you kind of maneuver it forward. It's going to be, the reservoir is going to be a little bit on the way, but there is a way to actually move it as high as you could, and then push. I mean, you can pull the intake upwards and it just clears it just barely. So that works. Now in terms of parts, these came from Germany. There is no stock in America. So what we're putting here, obviously, updated breather pipe. You can see this is a German marking. It's aluminum and rubber now, whereas the old one was just plain plastic. So the middle piece here is plastic, but the updated version is aluminum and rubber, so that obviously will last a very, very long time. Flanges, these are all aluminum now. You can see clean surfaces because now Mercedes uses gasket like this, and on top of the flange you use rubber gaskets also. So I don't know how many of these things left at Mercedes in Germany. I guess I got lucky to buy them, because when I called in, the dealer said that There is no number on the stock how many there are left, even in Germany. But he said that there are some out there that will have to check inventory, and I received them. That's great. It was fairly fast. The gaskets, yes, they're available, so that's pretty simple. There's supposed to be a rubber gasket here, but I'm going to use the old one. I'm just gonna put a little bit of silicone. It's gonna work just fine. It's no problem. Now the injector seals, these I'm not gonna change because they weren't leaking and they're really good shape. I've done this before on my other cars and customers' cars. I never really have problems with injector seals, O-rings, so I just left them alone. I don't see a need to change them. Wiring harness is a replacement harness. That's an updated version. It does not have problems with wires. Throttle body is rebuilt. I rebuilt them a while back. They work just fine. Clear coated them. Right, so that's that. Intake manifold is over there. I just put it away. Let's take a look at the intake manifold real quick. So there's really nothing to see here. Just dirty. I have to clean it off. The surfaces are good. Yeah, that's gonna be cleaned off. There is a little bit of residual fuel and crap and all that, because I ran car without mass airflow sensors, because I use those sensors for somebody else's car for test purposes. EGR holes, they're not plugged. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, I don't know if you can see them. Your finger right there, as you can see, moving. So yeah, that is that. So I'm gonna clean them a little bit just for good measure, and basically off we go. So this is just to document what's happening to the vehicle. Let me show you the other end of this, because this is like metal, but on the outside of the metal it's rubber on these flanges, original flanges. Yeah, there will be probably a way, there's a possibility of maybe silicone in them back, but I don't know. I've done it before, but I don't trust it. I definitely don't trust silicone, because then later on, if you need to remove them, you're gonna have to scrub silicone. That's gonna take forever. I've done that too before. That's not a good idea. So you do want to replace flanges. So this is just a one-piece flange, and it does not have any seals. Seals are basically built onto surfaces, and of course they get flat. So next time, if there will be a need to replace seals, you replace seals. You leave flanges alone, because they're now aluminum and no problems. Seals are separate and gasket is separate, so that's a good thing. Okay, so I guess I'll wrap this up. I'll continue working on cleaning the surfaces and replacing that breather pipe. First I'll replace the breather tube, and then I'm gonna clean surfaces, because once I clean surfaces, remove that dirty pipe, then some dirt can fall out. And before I do that, of course, I'm going to how do you call it, like I'm just gonna put some tape over the intake so nothing falls in the engine. You kind of want to do that, so I'll do that. I'm just gonna wipe them, put some tape over, remove replace the pipe, then I'm gonna open them up, clean them again, and then start assembly. All right, so this is, well, and another thing is, some people would say, you don't change the gaskets and this and that. I mean, you should have done this, that. They're not leaking, so what's the point? I see no point. 30,000 miles, the gaskets are not leaking on the valve covers, so there's no need to do anything there. So it's not most terrible job, just like in general. It's just obviously time consuming, and there's so many parts and bolts and all that stuff, and obviously you don't want to break anything. So that is all. It's not really the end of the world. It's just time consuming, and careful with all the pipes and hoses and wires and all that stuff, and that's totally doable. All right, so this is all for me, Victor here at thisstorymercedes.com. Thank you for watching.